I'm progressive because of my faith rather than just despite my faith, which might be the way in which, well, it's certainly the way in which my other pastor friends think it is. Like, they kind of think I'm betraying my values by being progressive, but I think it's really about how we in the church have come to understand morality. It is really about what you as an individual do with your body, like sexual morality. So it's really sex and drugs and that's about it. So then, like, we can entirely co-opt the immorality of capitalism and the way that it entrenches poverty. But because we don't think that's a moral issue, moral is essentially sex and maybe abortion and euthanasia, and that's moral. Everything else is not a moral issue. So if we've come to define immorality that way, it allows us then to do whatever the hell else we like. And like when the prosperity doctrine feeds into that, God wants to bless you by making you rich and wealthy. So then, like, we can entirely become conservative free market liberals, you know?
Our work as social workers is not to go around and convert people into our religion. But when people ask me, well, how do we continue this work? Or why do you do what we do, you know? Well, that's my opportunity to share because of my faith. I just share that very simple statement because of my faith. Yeah.
But the other aspect is we did take seriously the fact that Scott Morrison was a Christian. And we just thought that if we should respond to Morrison as a Christian in some way, it should be to pray for him and for the evil that is being done. It just makes sense, you know, and I hope that we can call him back as a brother to the way of Jesus in terms of treating these vulnerable people.
Now, that's not your standard Christian thing to do, to bring a man back to his Muslim faith. But what else? What else was I going to do in that moment with my suicidal mom? Was I going to give him fancy pills? Was I going to call the crisis team and have him detained? You know. Was I going to do cognitive behavioural therapy? None of those things were going to work. The only thing that was going to work was a spiritual discussion, because it was his faith that had let him down. And I feel very strongly that that's what God wants me to do.
There was a graph that came out about the Australian Christian lobby and the number of media releases they've done on different issues. Something like 95% on gay marriage and, 2% on poverty or something like that. And, how is that any kind of reflection of Jesus' character? Or even the words, the volume of words in the Bible on either of those issues, you know what I mean? It's like, on the gay marriage issue, like I kind of say to other pastors, it's almost as if you guys are willing for everyone to die of hunger as long as they can't get married. As long as men can't marry men, How is that a Christian standpoint?